Welcome or welcome back. Today we're doing a really quick recipe for pizza crust. Sourdough pizza crust, of course. So to begin, we're going to be adding 165 grams of water to our bowl. Just went over a tiny bit. Perfect. And the next thing you want to add to your bowl is going to be 240 grams of active fed starter. Okay. All right, the next thing we want to add is going to be a 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of sugar. Zero at our scale. Okay, so the next part of the pizza crust calls for 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of instant yeast. And the next ingredient we're going to have to put in here is 2 teaspoons or 6 grams of olive oil. Now you are making a pizza crust, so to me it's worth putting the olive oil in there. Okay, we're going to blend this all together and move back to do the dry ingredients. Okay, part 2, getting our dry ingredients ready for our pizza crust recipe. So to our bowl, we are going to add 420 grams of bread flour. So the next thing we add to our dry ingredients bowl is going to be some spices. So you can go with 2 teaspoons or 3 grams of either oregano or Italian seasonings. So we're going to do the Italian seasonings today. Okay, and then next we're going to be putting 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Okay, zero this out. Right. So the garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoons. Or 3 grams, I think I said that, okay. All right, the next ingredient is going to be 1/2 teaspoon or 2 grams of salt. Perfect. Okay, we're going to stir this really well, and then we are going to move it on over to our mixer so we can get all this blended together. So we're back, and now it's time to add the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients bowl. And we're going to turn it on the 1/2 speed, which is exactly what it's for. Go right to 1, I think. There we go. So we're back. I'm just going to knead our pizza dough a little bit. I know you're saying the mixer could have done that, but no. Learning the feel of the dough is what tells me when it's ready for the pizza crust and to be rising. So a machine can't tell us if the dough is ready. But we can go by the feel. Okay. See already that she's getting nice and smooth. That's exactly what we want. The thing about recipes too is that a lot of people, or a lot of recipes, the way they're written, will tell you a specific time. That is great when you're learning. However, sometimes you need less or more, so, of the knead time. So we found this pizza crust recipe several years ago now. I remember the first time I saw it, and it said put the Italian seasonings right into the dough, and I thought, that's a little weird. Usually seasonings go on top of the pizza. But being one to dive in sometimes, I did it anyway. And then we tried it and we were like, wow. The amount of extra flavor you get just from having those spices put in there is just unreal. And then we were continually practicing with the crust, you know, when we were in the mood for pizza. Instead of buying takeout, we do it this way. Well, I had read something that said somebody put fennel as a topping on their pizza crust. So I thought, we'll try it. Now, fennel's a little bit strong. However, the really cool thing when we tried it was that, I'm not gonna say the brand, of course, but years ago you could get a box that gave you the pizza crust mix plus the seasoning packet that went with it and a small can of pizza sauce. Well, when we tried the fennel on the pizza, that's what it reminded us of, the little spice packet you used to get in the mix. But then I do like the taste of fennel. Some people don't, but I do. But it brought back a memory, so if you try this and you want to try a little bit of the fennel seed on top of your pizza, maybe it'll bring a memory back for you as well. You never know. It was the homemade pizza that my mom would make for us. So each generation, you know, has their own way of doing things. So. And my mother never really indulged in the bread making very much. She was more of a savory cook. So when it came to meals, we were there. She's coming together now. So I'll just show you what I mean a little bit. So there's a spring to it. When you're working the dough right, you're gonna get a nicer pizza crust as well. So I am gonna stop at this point. I may come back to show you once we get it on the pizza pan or the cast iron, whichever we decide to do. Give you some shots of that. This is more about getting the sourdough pizza crust, giving something new a try. And remember, if you have discard, you could use that in this recipe and keep the instant yeast in that I mentioned. But for today, for us, It's just a starter. We've learned to really trust it as far as that goes. We know it's going to rise and improve. It just takes longer. But for us, the flavor's worth it. Being able to digest it easier is worth it. But if you can save some time for yourself, if you have a busy schedule, and a lot of people do, and go for it. That's why the option's there. We want to cover all our friends and our new subscribers and old. I've learned a lot from them already myself, just by being open, and some of those friends have and subscribers have their own channel, and I've been watching those. So if you stay open, you continuously learn. For me, that's a really big thing. Continuous learning keeps the mind very well. You never know what you're going to accomplish until you try. Okay, I'm liking this now. I'm making this for supper tonight, so it's going to have a nice long time to rise. Speaking of learning things from other people, this is one of the things I've learned from somebody else. You can take your little Cambro container, put a bit of oil in there. So oil the dough, flip it back the right way, put a cover on it, and we'll rise it over right in the container so we can see. So we're starting at like 1 quart, 1 liter. Let's see how far we get for this evening when we go to make our pizza. It's really amazing when you think of it. Okay, here we are doing my crust now. Oh, this one's a little bit more pliable. Right. Okay. Stretching all over the place today. Okay. Ooh. All right. I'm going to cover this one as well. Just let it set for a bit, and then we'll get to the next step. Hey guys, so the way we do our pizza is we pre-bake our crusts for 8 to 10 minutes on 450. And then we add all the stuff that we want on different toppings. Mr. Ace's pizza, chicken and cheese.